Kris Jenner recalls time she and Caitlyn accidentally left Kendall and Kylie at a Christmas tree lot. It was supposed to be a simple family outing, picking out the perfect Christmas tree to decorate their Calabasas mansion. But for Kris Jenner and her then-wife Caitlyn, what should have been a joyous annual tradition quickly turned into a holiday horror story. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. We were all so excited to go out and find the most beautiful tree, Kris recalls, a hint of nostalgia in her voice. The girls, Kendall and Kylie, were probably around 8 and 10 years old at the time. They could barely contain their enthusiasm. The family piled into their SUV and headed to a local Christmas tree farm, eager to kick off the Christmas season. Kris and Caitlyn carefully inspected row after row of towering pines and fragrant firs, determined to find the most picture-perfect specimen. Kendall and Kylie were running around, playing in the snow and testing out different trees, Kris says, chuckling at the memory. Caitlyn and I were so focused on finding the right tree that we kind of lost track of where the girls had wandered off to. After what felt like an eternity of hemming and hawing, Kris and Caitlyn finally settled on a massive, full-bodied tree. With the help of a few burly farmhands, they hoisted it onto the roof of their vehicle and prepared to head home. We did a final sweep of the lot, making sure we had everything, Kris says. Caitlyn and I did a head count. 1, 2, wait. Where are Kendall and Kylie? Panic immediately set in as the realization dawned on them. In their eagerness to find the perfect Christmas tree, Kris and Caitlyn had somehow managed to leave their 2 young daughters behind at the lot. We started frantically searching everywhere, Kris recounts, her voice tinged with concern even now, years later. Caitlyn was running up and down the aisles, calling out their names. I was on the phone with the farm, trying to get them to do an announcement. Meanwhile, Kendall and Kylie had been obliviously playing a game of hide-and-seek between the rows of trees, completely unaware that their parents had left without them. We must have searched for at least 20 minutes before we finally spotted them, Kris says, relief evident in her tone. Kendall and Kylie came running towards us, giggling and covered in snow. They had no idea we had even left. Needless to say, Kris and Caitlyn were not amused. The usually calm and collected momager was beside herself with worry and frustration. I was furious. At myself, at Caitlyn, at the whole situation, Kris admits. I gave the girls a stern talking to about staying close and not wandering off. Then I gave Caitlyn an earful for not keeping a better eye on them. Despite the harrowing experience, the family was eventually able to laugh it off. Kendall and Kylie, now grown women with families of their own, still tease their mom about the time she and Caitlyn accidentally left them behind. We bring it up every Christmas when we're decorating the tree, Kylie says, chuckling. Mom gets this mortified look on her face, but she knows we're just giving her a hard time. It's become one of our favorite holiday traditions. Kris may not have enjoyed it in the moment, but she can now see the humor in the situation. Looking back, it's kind of funny, she concedes. But at the time, I was an absolute wreck. I think I aged about 10 years in that 20 minutes. The experience certainly taught the family a valuable lesson about the importance of staying together and being more attentive, especially during the chaos of the holiday season. We're all a lot more vigilant now when we go out as a group, Kris says. No more losing track of the kids at the Christmas tree lot. As for Kendall and Kylie, they've learned to use the incident to their advantage. Whenever Mom starts getting on our case about something, we just remind her of the time she left us behind, Kylie says, giggling. It's the perfect guilt trip, and it always works.